Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all. You are welcome here on the Tribune of Awakening Consciousness. In the international news headlines, it is a total disappointment from Ukraine to see that some allied countries, notably the United States of America, refuse to sell them weapons. Yes, you heard correctly. The United States of America refuses to sell weapons to Ukraine. And the Ukrainian President, Volodymyr Zelensky, has complained about it very recently in the last 24 hours. He lamented about this situation, and we all know that Ukraine no longer has weapons, no longer has military equipment. When allied countries offered military equipment to Ukraine, Russia had made a promise, had given a promise. Russia had promised to burn everything or to capture everything alive to display in Moscow. Starting with the F-16, Putin had promised that he would burn everything. Obviously, they set everything on fire. The tanks, leopards, tanks, I don't know what. Russia placed bounties on the heads of each tank. Rewards to be given to each soldier. Many NATO tanks were transported to Russia, displayed both in Moscow and St. Petersburg. So, Ukraine no longer has military equipment. And it's during this crucial moment where no agreement has been reached so far. No peace agreement. So, the conflict continues little by little. It's during this time that some allies refuse to sell weapons to Ukraine. And others even go as far as refusing to send weapons as donations to Ukraine. So, what's happening with the United States of America? And so, in the context of this video conference, ladies and gentlemen, this is of course what we are going to talk about. But before continuing, I humbly ask you to share this video conference. Share it in all possible groups. Give it a lot of likes. Give it a lot of likes. There you go. So, let's dive into the depths. Yes, it's quite astonishing nonetheless. We don't know America is playing. What game? What game is America really playing? We don't know. But it's truly astonishing what's happening. So, Zelensky announced that they have made a request. They asked America to sell them Patriot air defense systems. You know, before, America used to give that for free. And it is these donations that Donald Trump came to say he wants to reclaim. But since the situation has changed, Zelensky prefers to buy. They need them. Patriot systems, which are systems that can stop missiles. Even if they can't stop all Russian missiles. Because we remember, Russia has missiles that no system in the world can stop. That is to say, the Patriot system is an anti-air defense system. American, which is very, very powerful. But the Patriot system cannot stop the Kinzhal missile, the Oreshnik missile, and the Russian Iskander missile. These three Russian missiles pass without issue. But nevertheless, Ukraine wants to at least have this system. So Ukraine says it has $15 billion. And that there are also partners who are ready to assist Ukraine in purchasing these systems with the United States of America. Since the United States of America no longer wants to give them this for free, they are ready to pay. They nevertheless have 15 billion in their coffers. So, the United States of America is refusing. What is curious, what is paradoxical, is that America refuses. But in the meantime, America is selling the same military equipment, the same weapons to other countries. So, why not to Ukraine? So Zelensky says this. He says, with our $15 billion, the United States of America refuses to sell us the Patriot air defense system. Yet, they sell to Israel. You see the double standards. They are selling this to Israel to prepare Israel to face Iran. Iran and its allies, Russia and North Korea. But in the meantime, they are not. They are refusing to sell to Ukraine without giving any reason, at least for now. Regarding the Patriot air defense system, Zelensky claims that he offered $15 billion to the Americans to acquire it, but the Trump administration refused. He says, with our money, and the Europeans will help us complete the rest, but the United States refuses to sell to us, yet they sell to Israel. Here is what Zelensky stated on CBS News, denouncing the inequality in choices, partners of the United States. So, Zelensky denounces an inequality in the choice of the United States partners. America applies double standards. So, that was the United States of America. Let's move on to another allied country, one of the allies. The German Prime Minister of the European Union, the German Minister of the European Union was the German Prime Minister of the European Union to have made the choice of the European Union. The interim Defense Minister, Mr. Bruce Pistorius, did not support the idea of providing Taurus cruise missiles to Ukraine. The UTL asked for help to see Taurus missiles. Germany refuses. It is the interim defense minister himself, Bruce Pistorius. Russians who refuse Jesus, who is celebrating, he refuses. Yes, we do know that for some time now, Germany had decided to reduce its aid to Ukraine. But very recently, with the new dynamic that Europe has initiated, which is a dynamic that aims to, obviously, continue the conflict since they want to force Russia into peace. We have seen Germany and other countries gather in Brussels, meet at the European Union to make decisions, etc. So, it's surprising to see that Germany refuses. If Germany didn't have it, we could understand. Yet Germany does have it. And before Germany refuses us. Last year, towards the end of 2024, Germany had said it would be in its interest to provide this support material to Ukraine because it no longer had weapons. Obviously, Germany had asked South Africa to produce ammunition for them. South Africa took the money they refused to produce. Or to deliver, I was going to say. So, it's very surprising. So, it is. During the Social Democratic Party Congress in Hanover, Pisto acknowledged the existence of arguments in favor of such a measure, thus delivering the Taurus missiles to Ukraine. But he said that at the same time he emphasized, he found that there are many valid arguments against the idea of sending Taurus missiles to Ukraine. So the defense minister says that yes, there are many who support the idea of sending Taurus missiles to Ukraine. At the same time, there are still many who are against it. So, for the moment, Germany is not going to send Taurus missiles. So here is what Ukraine is currently experiencing. So, here is what needs to be said regarding the situation Ukraine is going through. Zelensky is therefore very uncomfortable about this. But whatever happens, since he opted for the continuation of the conflict, we will continue to follow everything that results from it. We will come back to discuss it here on the Tribune of Consciousness Watch. Thank you all very much. I will be back with you shortly. This was the voice of your one and only humble servant, Mr. Thea Robert.